Cheers! You're listening to charlietrix,
Cheers.
remise,
Cheers.
and jhanboom.
Damn you, Jiggy!
Whoa.
Here it is. Here it is one more time.
Back in the streets.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. This is the Fans Perspective. I am your host, charlietrix, and I'm here with my brother
Remise. What's good, everybody?
What's good, everybody? And we got my man
It's your boy jhanboom. ¿Qué pasó?
John Busy Boom is in the building.
Woo.
Yes, y'all. Here we go again. It's a beautiful Saturday, July
Yeah.
22nd. Sometimes I'm talking ish when I say it's a beautiful day, but today really is. Sun is shining. It's hot and gorgeous out.
Yes.
We got a really dope lineup for you today. We're going to be talking about some funny stories as usual.
Pow.
Yeah, but before we jump off, fellas, how are you gentlemen doing?
Yeah, we're doing great, man. Saturday, we back in the streets. What's up, people in the YouTube, social media? Where's your boy jhanboom with the most famous people in the world, charlietrix and remise. Good times, good vibes. Shout out to everyone who keeps following us and keeps hitting that subscribe button. Keep grabbing my ass, and if you grab it, I'm going to grab it back, baby.
That's what's up. I'm doing good. It's nice to be back. It's been a while. We actually took a little bit of an extra break between episodes. So.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that let me find some random ass funny stories that are pretty cool. So
Yeah, for sure. We did take a little downtime, but that's just life and how it flows. Hopefully, ladies and gentlemen, enjoy this episode. So let's get right into it. jhanboom.
Yo, we're going right in. jhanboom is known for local news exclusive, but sometimes you got to go to a different area to get you some more news. Now, the story that I'm about to bring to you is funny. It's not new. It didn't just happen, but it did happen about a year ago. But when I saw it, I couldn't stop laughing because it interrupted my porn search, and I had to go into the store and find it. So let me give you a little bit of what I'm talking about. So we're going down to the tough streets of Detroit, Michigan. So down in Detroit, Michigan, 42-year-old Jason Christmas allegedly robbed a Huntington bank in Southfield, Michigan, by using an Uber. Mr. Christmas took the Uber to the right there. We already said
that. We're in a good spot.
That's how we do, baby. Touch me. Christmas took the Uber to the branch on Greenfield Road and had the driver wait while he went inside to rob the bank. Now, the Uber driver didn't know what the fuck he was doing. No, he just there chilling, waiting for him to come back out. Now, according to the police, Christmas used an Uber because his driver's license was suspended. And he was afraid that if he drove his car to the robbery, they would notice him not for the robbery, but because his license was suspended.
looks suspicious.
After the bank robbery, successful enough as it was, after the bank robbery, Christmas had the Uber driver take him back to his home in the Heights of Southfield Apartments on Lazar Road. The Southfield police were able to find the Uber driver from the vehicle's license plate, which was caught on the bank's surveillance footage. Now, the surprise driver, which was like, what the fuck is going on? The surprise driver was stopped by the police on the highway before showing the authorities where he dropped Mr. Christmas off. Now, a teller gave Christmas a red dye pack with the money he robbed from the bank, which exploded. Body cam footage from the arrest showed Christmas wearing the same clothes he wore during the robbery and covered in red dye.
One of the worst bank robbers.
This guy did not want to get away at all. He wanted to be caught, basically.
Cash found in his pockets was also covered in the red dye. The police initially thought that my man got shot. So when the officer approached, he said, "Man, did you get shot or something? Why do you have this red stuff all over you?" Said Southfield Police Chief Elvin Barron, in his press release. So what he said in a more, general statement where he said, this is a very unusual way to commit an armed robbery in our city. very fucking different for what we was hoping, a high-speed chase, but all we had to do was tag it into Uber, and Uber helped us find the motherfucker. So dumbass of the day goes to Mr. Christmas.
That sounds like a Key and Peele sketch. You know what I mean? And you would just stay with Key as he's, the Uber driver sitting in the car. The dude runs out, takes out the ski mask like on his way out.
What's great is that the guy was covered in red when they got when they got him from the exploding pack.
I guess he was so surprised that he was just like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna just keep this shit on.
Like, yeah. How fast? It must have been really fast that they got
it was a matter of, they cut the footage, they got the Uber information. The Uber driver's like, of course I'm gonna give you all the info, my man. Like, I didn't even know what was going on. I was sitting there reading my motherfucking newspaper. The guy came out.
All right.
How unaware do you have to be for a dude to rob a bank and you
Well, that's
the part that I'm curious about.
I was just about to say, right? You could not know that he robbed the bank going in, but you have to be aware that he robbed the bank when he comes out and he gets into your car. Isn't he a little excited? Is this adrenaline? Is he carrying anything?
Does he have a big
bag of money? I don't know how this just full. Or did he rob him by transferring it to his bank account?
This is the thing. Like, taking as
put it on the USB now. You know what I'm saying? He took an Uber, so
that's what I'm saying. Like, just taking Ubers, I know there's a lot of Uber drivers that don't give a fuck. They don't even look at you. You can get in and get out and fucking, they don't even notice. This was probably that case because essentially it did happen. So the Uber driver, I'm going to keep him on the, because I've been in Ubers and depending what size it is, if he had a minivan or something, you get in, you get out. And also, it wasn't like in the bank itself, it caused a disturbance. Like, it was just like he went, got it, give the little note. Once you put the red dye pack in, like, it's just like, take it, bro. Like, you're gonna get eventually caught, which he did about 2 hours later. Shout out to Uber.
First of all, that was, that dude played himself with that whole procedure that he used, but
again, when you need money, man, sometimes you just do stupid shit. You don't really think it all the way through. And my man, looking at his sketch, he doesn't look like he thought this one all the way through.
But can you even get away with robbing a bank these days? Is that even a thing?
I mean, nowadays, just in general, like back in the days, I used to work at a bank myself, right? And robbing a local branch is the worst fucking idea ever, because one thing for sure, you're not going to get away with a lot of money. Most small branches have between $5,000 to $8,000 in there. You know what I'm saying? So the most you're going to get away is with $5-8 grand, which now that I'm adult, $5,000 to $8,000 ain't shit compared to the 10 years in fucking prison for armed robbery.
You're not doing a Heat. You're not doing the movie Heat for $5,000 to $8,000.
Probably smoked a little weed the night before, saw Heat, said, you know what, if they can do it, I can do it. And he could not do it.
I don't know. But that
Uber. I'm gonna team up with my Uber driver.
Yeah,
that story is amazing.
He's never seen a heist movie in his life. If he thought
that guy was out of line,
he didn't even think to get a getaway driver.
He should be put under.
Next time, watch Set It All first. Don't watch Heat. Watch Set It All.
You need a Queen Latifah on your team.
If not, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, shout out he didn't have a Queen Latifah on his team.
Nah.
He had Uber.
Who gave him up?
I bet you Lyft wouldn't have snitched.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say, is that snitching?
Yeah, is it?
Does it count? I don't know. I
mean, it does say in the disclaimer of Uber, they can share your information to the authorities without any, you know what I'm saying?
And should the guy be liable because you clearly knew that he robbed the bank after he got in your car and you drove him home? I mean, he probably was like, look, I'm not going to say nothing. And then when they came knocking, he was like, oh, yeah, I just didn't know.
You know.
What's going on?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, Uber drive, they just did a drive you. It's like when me, myself, I used to go pick up weed in Ubers. You know what I'm saying? The guy used to be like, yo, I smell it all on you, but do I give a shit? No, just give me a little tip and we're good to go.
Shout out.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Uber driver that helped me pick up some weed. Thank you.
let's end that segment. Let's end that segment by saying, what happens in your Uber does not necessarily stay in your Uber. So.
Yeah.
Don't take an Uber to rob a bank.
Yeah, don't do it.
Moral of the story.
Get your license restored and then rob the bank.
Maybe you needed to rob the bank to get the license.
You need a driver.
A lot of questions there, man. One thing for sure, he's in jail.
Yo, you fucked up.
You fucked up.
Run it. Let's move it along.
All right, yeah. So I I just saw this story, and the crazy thing to me, the story just seemed insane, but I couldn't find anything to say it's bullshit, as crazy as it sounds, so I'm just going with it. But,
Let's go.
John Doyle survives a shark attack, gets mauled by lions, still makes it to the hospital.
Whoa.
So, found this on sharkattackfile.net.
All right, hold on. Should we be upset right now? Or?
This guy's a survivor, all right? I don't know. We should be happy for John Doyle, the survivor.
All right,
Like
let's get into here. Let's hear the story.
So in the fall of 1993, John Doyle of Denver, Colorado, was surfing alone in a remote location in Angola, West Africa. After spotting some thrashing fins about 20 meters away and aware he was sporting a minor cut on his heel, on the heel of his foot, he decided to get out of the water. But the problem was, like, to catch the wave, he had to paddle towards the sharks. So he did that, caught the wave, and it just says he hit a rail. I don't know what that means. I'm not a surfer. But hit a rail and fell back into the water and had to get back on the surfboard. And during that process, he got bit on his calf.
Ooh, shit.
But he like was able to wrestle his leg away or whatever.
Right.
Gets to shore, right?
So he survives the first attack.
The shark gets his half, but he fights his way to the shore, crawls his way to his Land Rover, it lists as his car. But he's about an hour out because he wanted to catch some good waves. So he drove an hour out from the nearest hospital.
Shit.
So he has to take a ride. And it's Africa, so it's 35 degrees Celsius. It's about 95 degrees. And he's starting to feel dehydrated. So he saw a creek, pulls up to the creek, right? All right, let's read what they had on their description.
Oh, my God.
In the 35-degree heat, John was dehydrated and desperately needed water. Upon arriving at a creek, he laid down on a rock by the edge to have a drink and a brief rest. His bloodied body, lying limp on the rock, was noticed by a male lion, which set upon the unwary victim.
Ooh.
So,
Oh, my God.
probably mistaken him for just some dead carcass-free food and went right in and attacked.
Damn.
So he got bit on the torso, it says.
Oh, shit.
But, he was able to grab a stick, and he fought this lion off, bro. Fought the lion off.
All right.
Started to make his way
This
back.
guy's a fighter, man. He wants to live.
He wants to live.
Doyle, he wants to live.
Nature does not, bro. Everything in nature is against this man. So, he gets pretty close to his car, and then the lion's pack comes back. The lion's pack follows up. You hit our man with a stick?
Ooh.
Are you kidding us?
Damn.
Getting fucked up.
So he had to fight his way into his car and get the door shut, which resulted in him covered in lacerations on his arms and legs now. He's bit on the chest.
Whoa.
From the lions.
And he's got a shark bite.
And there's a shark bite in his calf.
That's a rough day.
But he gets to the Land Rover, and he has to wait out the lions just attacking the Land Rover.
Damn.
It's damaged. He's all fucked up, so he can't drive home. So he had to wait for a tour bus that was passing by to see the all messed up truck and pulled up and actually wound up getting him to the hospital.
Shout out. Wow. That is
so
interesting.
he makes it to the hospital.
John Doyle, survivor.
Oh.
Wow.
That's like Ghost in the Darkness, Beast, and Jaws all in one.
John
Literally.
Doyle is
a survivor.
He definitely gets the reward, man.
He should be played by Liam Neeson.
Exactly,
Yeah,
but
shit.
man, you in
some point.
Africa, you gonna stop at a creek. I know those lions smell that blood. They said, "Damn, this is barbecue."
He
You know what
should
I'm
have
saying?
known better. The shark smelled the blood. The lions are gonna too.
Hell yeah.
That's wild. That dude survived a double attack from two things I never want to face.
Sea and land, bro. He got attacked. All he had to do was a vulture had to come down next, and he would have hit the triple threat, bro.
Wrestle that vulture down too. Fuck that shit. He ain't ready to go.
Who
I wonder,
knows?
that stick took him a long way, man.
Yeah, because I mean, I guess if you hit a lion right in the face, pow, he probably got a little.
Listen, do you
little
know?
blurred eye.
I mean, I guess because you're fighting for your life, right? You have no
Yeah,
choice.
I think it's
but-
a different type of thing, man. The adrenaline is pumping. You got lions, you got sticks, you got Land Rovers. It's a motherfucking problem, man. You know what you're gonna do? You gonna lay there and die, or you gonna fight to the end?
And it doesn't say how close, because to get out there with only lacerations on his arms and legs from that one, I think he must have been pretty close and just had to get the door
Yeah.
shut while they were reaching in and pawing at his ass.
Right, like damn.
But I got a quick question.
Ooh,
That's fine.
vamanonos.
What if you're on that tour bus and the guy pulls up and then like he's still alive and he's telling you, yeah, just got attacked by sharks and tigers, lions, and all
Like
that?
bullshit, right? Initially, but then you see how damaged he is. and
Well, I
it's
was
like-
gonna say the damaged body mark. He got the
it's
marks,
like,
right?
Wait, so also a shark? How far were you? Like, and this is a half hour away.
I think in my my professional experience of watching a lot of shark attack movies, I'd be able to tell the bite is a shark attack bite. Like the
Well, for a
injury.
calf, it would probably just be a lot of floating.
I mean,
nastiness.
I'm surprised that after the shark attack, he didn't just get assistance there. He said, "You know what? Fuck this little bit of blood. I'm gonna keep going to the next." What he was gonna do? Try get another wave?
So it's well, he had to like paddle his way to Earth.
Right,
but
right.
The thing is, there's no cell phones. It's 1993, so
Ooh,
unless
yeah.
he's like Tupac and above the rim, he does not have a cell phone to call for assistance. And they said he was like an hour away.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the Ghost in the Darkness, man. If y'all
Straight
don't know,
up. Michael
Big
Douglas? Was that
JD.
Michael Douglas?
Big
Yeah,
JD,
Michael Douglas, yeah.
Big JD, the survivor.
yes,
JD the
shout
survivor,
out to him.
bro.
Yo, shout out to him. Let's give him one of these.
Pow.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Whew.
Well, that was kind of hilarious. It fits right into our animal segments that we constantly do. But I want to switch up the pace just a little bit from the funny stuff and talk about this next segment here, completely hip hop related, which is great.
Let's go for the streets.
Yes, sir.
But I wanted to give a shout out to my man Nas.
Let's go.
Nas just dropped Magic 2, sequel to Magic 1, which is basically his fifth album in the last 3 years. And to be upfront, I've only listened to 3 tracks on the album before this, before we recorded this. But all 3 tracks are fire. But every single person I've talked to, including Remy, who's here, who has listened to Magic 2 in its entirety, say that it's another banger.
Yep.
The other 4 albums that all came out are all top ranked.
All fire. One
Just
a Grammy.
fire after fire after fire for 3 years straight with Hit Boy
Yep.
producing. So just the tag team of those two have been consistently dropping nothing but heat. So shout out to Nas. I just wanted to put it out there that album is out. And you should check it out, especially for some of the people who are more into the newer wave rap. You know, Nas is an OG. He represents a whole different era. But you can still just enjoy that album. And it's a good way to take a peek into the past with, a new touch on it.
But with some modern sentiments in there. Like he does a lot of things with his flow. He flips the flow a lot. He's
one of
just-
the best.
He's
one of the
best.
best.
I think he's the GOAT at this
Or
point.
the best.
This
So.
is the best stretch of I can't think of another artist putting out this much fire.
Like this
albums.
this stage of his career.
This stage of his
Right.
career, like
Right on.
he was already in the GOAT
Exactly.
conversation from Illmatic, and he's just dropped 5 all great albums. One won a Grammy. King's Disease 1 won the Grammy, and King's Disease 2 was also nominated the same year, if I'm not mistaken. Like that's how fast he's been putting these out, and they're all dope. They're all really good.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is kind of like John Jones coming back to clean out the division for a third time. Right? It feels like Nas doing this run. This is like his 16th album.
Word.
But you hadn't heard much or as big in a while until
Yeah.
this run of this last 5 albums, and I think it's really solidified his
Word.
position.
Yeah.
And another thing, shout out to Nas, in the 90s having one of the freshest fades I ever seen in the 90s. I was trying to get each barber to copy. I was yelling at my brother to give me the Nas fade with the little line. Man, when it comes down to fades, Nas had the freshest fade in the 90s. Hands down, man. Super fresh.
Yeah,
And I actually met Nas a while back when my stepdad used to be a cameraman, and they were doing like they were recognizing Russell Simmons and shit. He popped in to the Def Jam studios down in downtown New York. Bro, when my man pulled up with that QB piece, man, crazy, bro. Crazy.
Yeah,
That shit had so much motherfucking diamonds I had to fucking look away. Shout out to Nas. And he was super humble and chill. Like, he was all, what's up, chill, humble. Shout out to people that like that, man.
Yeah, I wonder.
Pow.
I wonder what that does. Does this run by Nas ignite some of the other OGs to want to be moving and putting out heat as well? Does it spark any flames in some other competitors?
To me,
out there,
I don't know if you even try to compete with that because it's just so different and so much output so fast. I think for somebody else, for another artist to do that, they'd have to find a hit boy. Like, they'd have to find that producer that they connect with so much that they're just in the studio all day and consistently putting out bangers. And there's something unique about every one of these LPs, every album. It's incredible what he's doing. Man.
Yeah, you got to find that like Snoop Dre combo.
Yeah, right now, bro. And you know what it is? I am a huge fan of the new hip hop. Not all this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But me, Migos, all that shit. I fuck with it. But I've heard some of Nas's new shit, and it brings me back to when I first heard Illmatic, and I feel good about that type of hip hop still now. So, you know what I'm saying? jhanboom for the streets. Queensbridge, bitch.
Yeah, man. And I wanted to say, we were talking about it. I was talking with Remy about this, but we want to do a segment covering where the OGs are at right now. Because, one thing you hear a lot about when you hear some hip hop heads talking about is, the new school is trash. We had the golden era.
Right.
So what I was saying was we should do something on, where is the golden era at now? Where are these people at in their careers? Where can we find them? What's going on? So,
I mean, some of the OGs are still out there. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of them are all doing different things.
They don't got that swag that's catching the new hip hop genre. You know what I'm saying? Like Nas is. I you know what I'm saying? They're not doing that work. I feel like they doing what they doing, but they not really doing it like he's doing.
Yeah, well, I think that there's different artists are in different places, right? So we were saying like Nas, he's dropping the fire albums. He's killing it out there.
Yep.
And I was saying like Big Daddy Kane, for example, that man's live show performance is fantastic. He's just killing the game. His live show is fantastic. So he's out there killing those live shows. There are big names that are in different.
In there's big names still. Or should I just drop another album?
Boom is doing this podcasting right now.
I'm still in the streets though,
and he's about to possibly drop a new album.
6 tracks and that's it.
That's it. That's all you need, and plus 2 bonus tracks.
But the album's called 6 tracks and that's it.
Yeah. But anyway, back to what I was saying. There's a lot of these OGs. I was thinking it'll be a cool segment.
Yeah, no, that would be dope.
No, for sure, it would be.
And I do think we should also. I do want to try to find new school rappers that are keeping that the vibe of what we like, because I don't think it's fair to say new school rap is trash. I think there's talent out there.
Yeah, I think that's not.
Benny the Butcher dropped an album last year. Simba had a good album.
Benny the Butcher's a shit.
There's rappers that do good shit.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of hot new school stuff. Like I said, that's not my opinion that new school is trash. That's kind of
it's just what people say.
It's what people say. But I do think that there's a lot of fire new stuff out there too.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because my opinions are like mostly old head opinions. I like all the old school stuff, but I just think to show support and find where it is and encourage rap and hip hop to go back in that direction, or to keep supporting it when that still exists.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to Nas and your success. We appreciate you, man.
I genuinely think that the GOAT debate is over. He's cemented it.
Yeah, Nas cemented that. Let's take a little bit more of a serious turn. We had some fun with those early topics.
Yes, sir.
And once again, shout out to Nas' beautiful career.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Remy, why don't you take over? We got just a couple stories we want to take you through.
Yeah, I think right now a lot of people are talking about the pharmaceutical industry, so I grabbed something off New York Times that I think speaks about a part that people don't criticize enough, personally, so I wanted to call attention to it. It's called How a Drug Maker Profited by Slow Walking a Promising HIV Therapy by Rebecca Robbins and Cheryl Gay Stolberg. In 2004, Gilead Sciences decided to stop pursuing a new HIV drug. The public explanation was that it wasn't sufficiently different from an existing treatment to warrant further development. In private, though, something else was at play. Gilead had devised a plan to delay the new drug's release to maximize profits, even though executives had reason to believe it might turn out safer for patients, according to a trove of internal documents that were made public in litigation against the company. At the time, Gilead already had a pair of blockbuster HIV treatments, both of which were underpinned by a version of a drug called tenofovir. The first of those treatments was set to lose patent protection in 2017, at which point competitors would be free to introduce cheaper alternatives. So the drug was potentially less toxic to patients' kidneys and bones than the earlier version, tenofovir, but it would compete with tenofovir, which was already leading the market. So they were like, it's too similar, we're not going to test this, despite the fact that it was safer, essentially. So let's go back to the article. If they delayed the new product's release until shortly before the existing patents expired, the company could substantially increase the period of time in which at least one of its HIV treatments remained protected by patents. The patent extension strategy, as the Gilead documents repeatedly called it, would allow the company to keep prices high for its tenofovir-based drugs, and Gilead could switch patients to its new drug just before the cheap generics hit the market.
So let me get this right. How long was the time that they could have been saving people with better medicine?
About 11. No, well, so 2004 was when they decided to cancel the study of it. It probably would have been out by 2008, they say in the article. And instead, they waited until 2015 to release it. So it's years.
So they killed about 7 years in between, basically.
Yeah. And a lot of people were taking a more dangerous and harmful version of the drug when they could have been taking a safer version.
So 7 years worth of all of those people taking the more harmful drug, all in the name of making some more money.
Yeah, and it's still, now to be completely clear, this still saves lives. It's still good, and the harmful part aspects are to a smaller number of the people that receive it. But you can reduce that part, that harm part, even more with this new drug. But the thing is, most people can't afford the new drug. So what they have to do is get the old drug anyway, because the generics are much cheaper, and I wanted to point that out. In the article, let's do a comparison. One of the top-selling versions of this safer drug has a sticker price of $26,000 annually. Generic versions of its predecessor, whose patents have expired, now cost less than $400 a year.
That's crazy.
Whoa, that's a massive difference.
Yeah, it's enormous.
So they need the patents to expire just before they're willing to reduce the price of the massively expensive.
They don't reduce the price of theirs. What happens is generics competitors come out with a dramatically reduced price, and then now you can afford the HIV treatment that was going to save a person's life, let's say, or continue, give them longevity. Okay. And the safer, the better one, what they did was they protected that patent. So I think they said that patent expires in the 2030s now. So it will be a $26,000 annually drug that probably inflates in price year after year into the 2030s. Had they continued from the 2004 area of time, it would probably already have expired the patents and the generics would be available, and a lot more people would have access to this safer version of the drug. And that is part of a class action lawsuit against them by the people who were taking the lesser safety drug over the course of all those years.
Well, the thing is it solely in the name of profit, right? Are you allowing these people to suffer? Well, I guess here's the thing too, is we're on this side of the fence thinking like this company, the what they should be trying to do is help heal people.
Yes.
Right? Save people and help people overall. Mm-hmm. But, you know, maybe that's not the company's model. Maybe the company's model is just, you know, cash rules everything around me, and that's period.
Yeah, cream.
Damn it.
Woo, but yeah, so I do want to say that I think it is completely profit driven, and the crazy thing is, this is one example of something that is so common in the pharmaceutical industry. This holding on to a superior drug that's safer for people, more effective potentially, just because you have the patents on what's already at top of the market. This strategy has a name. So let me read this part of it. Gilead's apparent maneuver with tenofovir is so common in the pharmaceutical industry that it has a name: product hopping. Companies ride out their monopoly on a medication, and then, shortly before the arrival of generic competition, they switch or hop patients over to more recently patented versions of the drug to prolong the monopoly.
Jesus Christ.
So this is common practice in the industry. It's got a nickname, and it's literally saying we're going to keep people on whatever owns the market.
Product topping?
Product topping.
Oh.
So, you know, maybe let's look up if there's any legislation about that going on.
So I think one way that you might address it in one aspect of legislation would be, I think Elizabeth Warren proposed creating a drug manufacturer out of a government-run drug manufacturer that would create competitive generics for certain industries. So you want to drive the insulin price down because it's ridiculous. You create a generic government produced one as a competitor.
Yeah.
And I know one other thing to mention is Bernie Sanders is saying that Joe Biden had made a promise to aim to reduce drug prices from the pharmaceutical industry. Mm-hmm. And Bernie Sanders is saying, we want a roadmap before I confirm anybody to be the new CDC head. So he's kind of trying to hold Biden's foot to the fire for now. We'll see if it holds up, but yeah.
Nice. Good. Shout out to
crazy
big old Bernie. Grandpa Bernie.
Oh, he's doing some good shit. Oh, there was one more note I wanted to have on that, actually. My bad.
Give it to him.
This is the thing.
All right.
So, Joe Rogan and, who was it, RFK, had that beef with Peter Hotez, the doctor, right?
Yeah.
And Rogan framed Hotez as a defender of the pharmaceutical industry. And what did Peter Hotez do but create essentially a generic, a cheaper version of the COVID vaccine for countries that couldn't afford the COVID vaccine? So Peter Hotez literally challenged and cut profits from Pfizer and Moderna, Big Pharma, all those companies that these people frame as, you know, evil companies. Peter Hotez actually challenged them. He fought Big Pharma and then had these assholes frame him as Big Pharma. And I just think that's foul. I think it's super misinformed. And shout out to Peter Hotez for getting vaccines to the countries that needed them when Big Pharma was trying to profit off them.
Let's go.
One more time.
Drop that shit.
All right. Fired up a little bit here.
Yeah. Peter Ho got us.
Speaking of fired up, I want to piggyback off of that story a little bit from Remy. I'm going to read this next story. This is out of The Lever, which I constantly am quoting on this show.
Shout out.
Story that was from Rebecca Burns. It's called Insurers Exploit Climate Crisis to Gut Consumer Protections.
Ooh.
Okay. To keep covering homes amid the ravages of climate change, big insurance companies want California to slash its landmark price gouging rules.
Okay.
So, in the article, they got a picture of like the fires that are going on in California, you know. But it just goes to show you. I mean, we're talking about the pharmaceutical company and these issues, but check this out, right? In the last 2 months, 3 of the country's largest home insurers have announced plans to limit new business in California, citing rising costs in a state where climate-fueled wildfires have become a fact of life. Homeowners already bracing for extreme weather this summer now face another threat that their homes will become uninsurable, making it nearly impossible to rebuild or relocate should disaster strike. A little more. I'm going to read a little more on these.
Get involved.
Yet, as insurers demand higher rates and cancel policies amidst intensifying climate risk, they're actively contributing to those risks. The three groups planning to limit or cease new business in California, Farmers Insurance Group, State Farm, and Allstate, also hold nearly $40 billion in fossil fuel investments, according to Lever.
Damn it, State Farm.
That's why they're so certain we cannot afford to insure anything in this area because it is going to get hot.
They don't give a shit, right? Instead of addressing their own role in the climate crisis, insurers are using the disaster to push for deregulation. In order to continue writing homeowner policies, insurers and their lobbying groups are now demanding that regulators relax the state's landmark price gouging protections, considered the most rigorous in the nation.
Let us price gouge, man.
I mean,
let us charge a ridiculous amount while we contribute to the problem that is forcing us to charge more. That's insane, man. Allstate, I expected better. Or is it State Farm? Which one's got James Earl Jones?
It is wild. Shout out to Rebecca Birds on this story, man.
Shit, but you're not in good hands.
This is just wild. It's like such in your face. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's like they are asking for permission to jack up prices and basically remove the price gouging while contributing to the reason they want to fucking jack up the prices in the first place. It is insane, man.
Yeah,
and this is like an example of the free market. This is what's going on
real
here?
Strategic free market feeding. It's a cycle. They pay themselves. They spend to increase their income the other way.
So we're just gonna be spending the money, huh,
bro? If I gotta deal with smoke from Canadian wildfires every year, I'm gonna lose my mind.
You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of Escape from New York vibes outside. Bro.
So
all that shit.
That's the least of the problems.
I just want to let me add a couple. Let me add a couple pieces from the story. All right. Contrary to industry warnings, a new analysis from the New York Federal Reserve finds that the largest property insurers have sufficient capital to cover estimated losses from climate-related catastrophes, but that their portfolio holdings in oil and gas pose additional financial risks. Shortly after, Farmers announced earlier this month that it would begin limiting new homeowner policies in California, Property Insurers' top lobbying group issued a statement calling for reforms to the state's outdated regulatory regime that it claims stymied industry's efforts to secure adequate rates.
Crazy, bro. Crazy.
In a public hearing last Thursday, all state representatives made the ultimatum explicit, telling regulators that their presence in the state depends on being permitted to pass more cost onto customers and use black box risk models currently disallowed under rate transparency rules. So it's just wild that it's just going in this direction.
I wonder if now, does that create an opening for a competitor, a mid-size or smaller competitor to come in? Or could California build a competitor similar to the generic drugs concept?
Can they?
Or something like that. To make it cheaper to invest in rebuilding in these areas, thus reducing some of the, expenses. And
Yeah. But anyway,
maybe
for everybody
watching,
go in and go to the Lever and check out this story and read the rest of it because it's crazy.
Check that shit out.
This is some of the wacky ass shit that we deal with in this country. That's just wild when you see it on its face like this.
Yeah, it's stuff that you can miss just because it's not broadly reported or anything. You kind of have to see that to be like, Jesus Christ, what? No way. And then you read it. It's crazy, man. Crazy.
Anyway, moving right along.
Wow, a lot of shit going on.
So let's take a trip back into something a lot funnier than
fuck around. Okay, it's your boy
I still think this is like some late stage capitalism evil happening.
Capitalism,
the story,
infringement.
Oh, the next story you mean?
Fires.
This is all right.
Johnny, take it away, man.
Yo, we're going in. You know what I'm saying? When jhanboom gets on the mic, you know shit's finna go down. Now, the story that I'm about to bring, before I get into a little bit of the story, it has to do with fast food. Now, fast food chains outside of the U.S. are known to have a little bit of a spicier menu than your typical U.S. menu. Shout out to Hawaii. They have a breakfast platter that consists with spam, eggs, and rice, which is a popular dish out there. Shout out to Puerto Rico. They have not just in Burger King, they have motherfucking fried chicken besides your standard burgers and shit. But now we make it down to the tough streets of Thailand, which they have what is called a real cheeseburger, which consists of 20 slices of motherfucking cheese, which almost gave my man Remy a goddamn heart attack. Like, just looking at the picture itself.
The picture made me gag. Like, I had a reflex of physical reaction to looking at the nastiness of that.
Disgusting.
Now, cheese just makes me sick all the time, though, to be fair.
Now add 20 slices to that nonsense.
Now, 20 times it. 20x.
Now
Makes
it
me
goes
sick
crazy.
with one slice. 20x it.
Now, it started off as a video on TikTok, which people thought it was just somebody trying to go viral. Actually, it's not a joke. And I'm going to read you a little bit of the article that I came across about the 20-slice real cheeseburger from Burger King in Thailand. This is not a joke. This is for real. Burger King said in a Sunday social media post, which was last Sunday. At one Burger King branch in Bangkok, you know what I'm saying, where the real Asian massages is at, a shift manager was overheard saying that the outlet had stopped taking delivery orders so they can have enough to stock in walk-in diners. So they had to stop through the drive-thru so they can have enough cheese to build this disgusting burger, okay? Our one customer who ordered the cheesy burger tried it for the first time and said, "God damn, it's a bit too much." Bit too much is exactly the goddamn word.
Nah, a bit is not the right word. Cut a bit out and just say too much.
Too much. I could only finish half of this bullshit, she said, wiping her mouth with a tissue.
I only need 10 slices of shit.
This is an insane amount of cheese added to one burger. Food is good when things are at its right combination. You know, one slice of cheese, 2 slices maybe, but goddamn 20 slices. What we doing? We just dying today or what? I'm adding that she would probably not order the gooey sandwich again. Another customer said, "What the fuck is this? This is too intense." Now, going down, the menu edition is an example how fast food franchises around the world are seeking to gain traction by rolling out zany or eye-catching menu options that they hope will spread across social media. In the United States, Burger King has doubled down on the Whopper, a flame-grilled signature beef burger that has also taken off on platforms such as TikTok through a catchy commercial jingle that came out last year. Restaurants are also doing a bunch of shit to get... It seems like they were doing it essentially for TikTok, but then essentially Thailand for some reason took it over. Now Thailand, fuck this article. I'm gonna just say it from the top. You guys are crazy for even entertaining this. You guys have some of the most delicious cuisines I've tasted. You have a delicious Thai dug. You got what's that shit? Pong Tang.
They got poontang.
You guys fried the best pork belly in the motherfucking world. Noodles, etc. Soups. What's that
Noodle
delicious?
game is elite.
What's that delicious soup that y'all like to have?
Tom Yum.
Ooh, Tom Yum soup. What's up?
Man, it's the shit.
And then you're going to entertain the situation. First of all, in Thailand, I don't know where the fuck y'all get y'all cheese from, because American cheese here also ain't shit. I don't even like American.
Even American cheese is bad in America.
So for you to do this, and on top of that, if you know about cheese, if grilled is not at the front of it, ain't nobody eating that shit. So whoever decided to do 20 pieces of slices of cheese, first of all, the saturated fat on that motherfucker is terrible. Anybody that eats that, their knees are going to swell up and they're going to fall over. So,
literally. The tip over.
Let me ask you, Johnny.
If you're building a 6-foot sub, maybe you could order that thing.
And
cheap.
You know, honestly, you could order that if you run out of cheese and you have like cold cuts at home.
Throw that shit in the fridge,
But
bro.
honestly, I did see the cheeseburger or whatever they're calling it.
It's ridiculous.
It's a grilled cheese, or it's like an uncooked grilled cheese.
Yeah, it's
Exactly.
so
It's a raw
gross.
cheese.
It
It's
is
a raw cheese.
horrific.
So first of all, you guys don't know the essential methods of how to make a grilled cheese. Let's start off from the top. And on top of that, you got 20 slices, and you have to shut down a portion of the business in order to accommodate these disgusting burgers. So
that means it's a hit. People are really ordering
people are
it.
doing it for
They're
$3.19.
ordering that over there because they probably think people over here order that
They're
shit.
playing it off, right?
We do
That's
not.
like Americans walking around with a Chinese word on their arm, you know?
And it's the wrong word. Doesn't
Yeah,
mean
like-
at all what they thought.
Nah,
the
but
Cantonese
seriously, I
tattoos.
seen that thing. That thing looks disgusting.
Awful.
I will say.
Awful.
It
Awful.
looks disgusting.
You
For
know what?
$3.19,
I
you
thought
can
it was.
get two of
I
them.
honestly, I thought it was a meme. I thought it was a joke.
It started off as a joke. Thailand caught it, started fucking around with it. All of a sudden, now they have a real cheeseburger. But one thing that I know, because I wanted to get balls deep in this shit, I went to the Thailand Burger King website, etc. It's like a hidden
item, a hidden menu item, a secret item.
Yeah, secret item. So it's not like publicized on their menu. You got to go in and say, "Hey, I want that bullshit. Give it to me."
Right.
So and then you'll get it for a whopping $3.19. You get 20 slices of cheese on a piece of bread, so you can die early.
Well,
Take about 48 fucking.
Johnny, I was gonna ask you. All right, so who's worse now in your book? The vegan eaters or the cheese eaters?
Well, now you know that's a tricky question because technically the
nasty
burger is
cheeseburger
vegan.
eater.
Or is it vegetarian, right?
You
But
know what
not
I'm saying?
vegan?
Now it's tricky.
Is it vegan
Vegans
cheese?
are still, rough around the edges with me because I see people with this vegan shit. A lot of vegans I'm seeing are just looking crazy as far as physically, they say it's a good thing to do, but if you get into an altercation from a guy that eats 100% beef against a vegan, it's not going to work out.
All right,
Do you
well,
guys know? You guys are into UFC and shit. Do you guys know any vegan?
Yeah, actually,
There's a
there was a big thing on this, and there's a fighter who did a whole study on this, and actually, there are not just in UFC, but in sports all around. There are a lot of top athletes who are vegans. Surprisingly, because of what you would think, like that's kind of a normal train of thought, which is like the protein eaters are. Well, it is true. There's obviously tons of protein eaters that are fantastic athletes, but there are also elite vegan athletes out there.
The sense I get is that
How many fans do they have?
to have that
Each one of these athletes.
well, to have that proper balanced diet from vegan food to keep a professional athlete, it's probably more expensive than
Right on.
just eating.
Right on.
Well, I can't talk about the cost on it,
Stuff.
but in any
it can be
case,
done.
Are you more disappointed if I order? Would you be more disappointed in me if I ordered the cheeseburger or the vegan?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be 100% disappointed. You ordered that 20 piece slice of bullshit.
So the cheese
Vegans
eaters are
winning.
more disgusting.
Of course, vegans do have a good selection of good food, right? They have a good food.
They're working their way up, man.
They are.
They're
They
winning
are.
you over.
The people that I have a problem with is PETA. Y'all know that. PETA is where the shit gets a little rocky. You know
Beef.
what I'm saying?
It's beef, huh?
It's beef with PETA. Vegans, you guys are cool. I just don't like the whole killing the foxes and shit. I don't fuck with that shit. All the bunnies, you motherfuckers. I was watching another video that was out there shooting bunnies. Some dude with a little sniper. It's terrible. Vegans, y'all cool. 20 slices of fucking cheese in Thailand is not it. You guys have great Asian massages, great food. Keep it at that. Keep it going.
All right. Let's do it. So basically, with that, I want to roll right into this next piece right here. Right, this is just straight off the top. I don't really have anything
Let's fucking
on
go.
this, but we'll talk about it. Right. I think that essentially what you're saying is that anybody who orders that cheeseburger, we should put them in the bonus hole.
Yes.
The bonus hole is something I wanted to talk about, which I think we should just turn into a whole new fucking segment, actually, if you ask me. I think that the term bonus hole, unfortunately, has some sticking power, right?
Ooh, okay.
So for
Probably
people,
explain where it originates.
so for people who don't really know, basically this was from an old story. From what I understand, from a few years back,
outrage machine.
and in relation to the trans movement or some group came up with the term and said, suggested its use, that this term be used. It wasn't really a big thing when it came out. It was kind of ignored by most of the people that it was suggested to, from what I understand as well. But in any case, it's a really old thing. It happened to get recirculated when a left-wing commentator mentioned it in an interview recently. And then based on that interview, it kind of re-sparked some life into the story.
Yeah, people are like, it just got picked up and became another one of those very niche, tiny things that suddenly the anti-trans movement goes crazy on. And it's like, it's unnecessary.
And then basically we have all these people sharing these stories about, oh my God, they want us to use the bonus hole, right? But that's not the funny part about it. The funny part about it is that the term bonus hole, it's like, it is. Everybody I talk to knows about this story just because of the term.
So memorable. But just to be clear, all you have to do is go to Snopes.com, type Snopes bonus hole, and you'll see their context. No entity urged health professionals globally to abandon the word vagina for bonus hole.
Whoa.
Rather, one cervical cancer charity in the United Kingdom published a document for medical staff leading cervical screenings with trans men or non-binary patients, in which the terms bonus hole and front hole were listed as alternatives to the word vagina. The document appeared to serve as an educational resource, not a policy mandate. They literally just went through the glossary and like picked the shit out and were like, bonus hole, that's gonna catch on. People will remember that. We're gonna use that.
I know.
Like, they're looking for, and it is a catchy, memorable word. Like, it's got staying power.
Well, the problem is they don't believe Snopes either. So
yeah, Snopes is in on it.
Snopes is in on it. So, but in any case, you see how ridiculous that the story is on its face.
It's very minor,
and it shouldn't have been brought up when it was recirculated to begin with. But however, it is going around, and I know just because a few friends I know had randomly shared the story with me prior to us recording this. So,
but, let me say something real quick, because it's crazy how like spreading that, I guess, gossip or something again works, because even though I know what happened, I'm still angry about it. Because I feel like they were calling, I don't care the truth no more. Like, they call my wife's bonus hole, and I don't like that.
And that's the thing, like, so then the context is they didn't, and it's
but you're still mad.
But I'm angry about it.
The first
you're still
impression,
mad at it.
The frame initially threw you off, and so you still have that little bit of, that's the goal.
And that's the funny thing, is that's all you need, right? Is that fire, right? They already got the fire in you. Right. So now you're walking around mad at somebody calling your freaking wife the bonus hole. You ain't having it.
Oh, so now they're calling wife's bonus hole. Back in my day, when someone mentions the bonus hole, if she said to me, hey, John, bonus hole, I'm thinking she wants a little bit of anal. And I was ready to go. So now they flipping the script and they're doing something else with it, man. I can't keep up.
Take back bonus hole.
Take it back, man. Because now when someone says bonus hole,
I want to reclaim the bonus hole as a segment on our show. And anyone who's an asshole, we're going to put him in the bonus hole.
Yeah, literally. You're an asshole, you can't put in the bonus hole. Because you're taking away the anal description that I used to be known to when a lady was ready to do a little anal.
Oh, man, this story is, it was more funny
miscommunications.
I thought. But yeah, you see how the story was communicated all across the board, though, and it's so fucking, it's so stupid, but it's so funny. But as Lou was saying, though, it gets people fired up.
Yep.
And then all you really remember is
the
this.
emotion.
And then right now,
I
can tell you, right, even though now Lou knows the real story, when he leaves here and he goes to a barbecue, he's going to be like, you hear the fucking people call my wife the bonus hole? I ain't having this shit. And he's still going to stick with that, right?
It's, it's a sticky term. It's a sticky term.
Yeah, well, it's true. That's 100% true, because it's a good story, too.
Yeah, it is.
It's a good argument.
Story,
somebody else like,
it's more exciting to talk about.
Bonus hole.
Stuff is different.
But, we could bullshit about John Doyle got attacked by a shark, a lion, and then the whole pack of lions and survived it.
Well, nobody knows about that story until we spread it around now.
We're going to be the originators. And then that should be the barbecue story, not the bonus hole.
It's not a bonus
Actually,
hole.
I like the bonus hole story, though, but...
man, it's just so ridiculous.
All
right, man. All right. Well, shout out to the bonus hole. I think we're pretty much rounding it off at this point in time.
Yeah.
But is there anything anybody needs to get off their chest, as I usually say when we get to this point in the show?
Yo, I'm pretty chill, yo. Again, shout out to everyone. If you stuck around, you know how Charlie Tricks let us know all the way to the end. I'm happy you did. Subscribe, like, mess with us, send me nudes, all the good stuff. Ladies only, you know what I'm saying? Bonus holes, whatever to that, you know what I'm saying? It's different. You know, y'all took away my term of anal away, you know what I'm saying? I'm mad at that. So now if a lady asks me for a bonus, so I'm going to have to re-ask her and verify that.
Can you clarify?
Can you clarify what you need me to do? So, unfortunately, that is happening. I can't control it. We can, but we could talk about it. Yeah, it's not that.
Well, no, that's different.
Yeah, that's a little more freaky dicky. You
some
know,
bathroom stall stuff.
Yeah.
That's a peekaboo hole.
Yeah, that's a different.
Yeah, but
Gets frisky.
I guess on that note,
Yeah.
have a great week, everybody.
All right. Remy, say anybody you want to. You good?
No, thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Ditto.
Like, subscribe, shout out Vamanonos. You know what it is.
Back in, baby.
You're listening to TFP.
6 tracks,
Fans
that's it.
Perspective. You're listening to TFP, the fans' perspective.